God of glory, on thy people pour thy power. Crown thine ancient church's story, bring her bud to glorious flower. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, for the facing of this hour, for the facing of this hour. Like children's warring madness, bend our pride to thy control. Shame our wanton selfish gladness, rich in things and poor in soul. Grant us wisdom, grant us courage, let we mind thy strength call, lest we miss thy kingdom's goal. Set us. Whoops.
Morning. Sorry to have tested that out. I am at my mom's house this morning, and the framing of her window is just in the wrong place for sitting in the window. Okay, so we are continuing our journey through the scriptures. We're still that little over a year after the Israelites left Egypt, probably about 1445 BC. We are picking up in Numbers 11, verse 1, hearing about the people complaining to Moses. The people soon began to complain to the Lord about their hardships, and when the Lord heard them, his anger blazed against them. Fire from the Lord raged among them and destroyed the outskirts of the camp. The people screamed to Moses for help, and when he prayed to the Lord, the fire stopped. After that, the area was known as Taberah, the place of burning, because fire from the Lord had burned among them there. Then the foreign rabble who were traveling with the Israelites began to crave the good things of Egypt. And the people of Israel also began to complain. "Oh, for some meat," they exclaimed. "We remember all the fish we used to eat for free in Egypt. And we had all the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic that we wanted. But now our appetites are gone, and day after day we have nothing to eat but this manna." The manna looked like small coriander seeds, pale yellow in color. The people gathered it from the ground and made flour by grinding it with hand mills or pounding it in mortars. Then they boiled it in a pot and made it into flat cakes. These cakes tasted like they had been cooked in olive oil. The manna came down on the camp with the dew during the night. Moses heard all the families standing in front of their tents weeping, and the Lord became extremely angry. Moses was also very aggravated. And Moses said to the Lord, "Why are you treating me, your servant, so miserably? What did I do to deserve the burden of a people like this? Are they my children? Am I their father? Is that why you have told me to carry them in my arms like a nurse carries a baby, to the land you swore to give their ancestors? Where am I supposed to get meat for all these people? They keep complaining and saying, 'Give us meat.' I can't carry all these people by myself. The load is far too heavy. I'd rather you killed me than treat me like this. Please spare me this misery." Moses chooses 70 leaders, beginning in Numbers 11, verse 16. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Summon before me 70 of the leaders of Israel. Bring them to the tabernacle to stand there with you. I will come down and talk to you there. I will take some of the Spirit that is upon you, and I will put the Spirit upon them also. They will bear the burden of the people along with you, so you will not have to carry it alone. And tell the people to purify themselves, for tomorrow they will have meat to eat. Tell them, the Lord has heard your whining and complaints. If only we had meat to eat. Surely we would have been better off in Egypt. Now the Lord will give you meat, and you will have to eat it. And it won't be for just a day or two, or for 5 or 10 or even 20. You will eat it for a whole month until you gag and are sick of it. For you have rejected the Lord, who is here among you, and you have complained to him. Why did we ever leave Egypt? But Moses said, there are 600,000 foot soldiers here with me, and yet you promised them meat for a whole month? Even if we butchered all our flocks and herds, would that satisfy them? Even if we caught all the fish in the sea, would that be enough? Then the Lord said to Moses, is there any limit to my power? Now you will see whether or not my word comes true. So Moses went out and reported the Lord's words to the people. Then he gathered the 70 leaders and stationed them around the tabernacle. And the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke to Moses. He took some of the spirit that was upon Moses and put it upon the 70 leaders. They prophesied as the Spirit rested upon them, but that was the only time this happened. 2 men, Eldad and Medad, were still in the camp when the Spirit rested upon them. They were listed among the leaders, but had not gone out to the tabernacle, so they prophesied there in the camp. A young man ran and reported to Moses, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. Joshua, son of Nun, who had been Moses' personal assistant since his youth, protested, Moses, my master, make them stop. But Moses replied, are you jealous for my sake? I wish that all the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord would put his spirit upon them all. Then Moses returned to the camp with the leaders of Israel. The Lord sends quail, beginning in Numbers 11, verse 31. Now the Lord sent a wind that brought quail from the sea, and let them fall into the camp and all around it. For many miles in every direction from the camp there were quail flying about 3 feet above the ground. So the people went out and caught quail all that day and throughout the night and all the next day too. No one gathered less than 50 bushels. They spread the quail out all over the camp. But while they were still eating the meat, the anger of the Lord blazed against the people, and he caused a severe plague to break out among them. So that place was called Kerbar Hatava, the graves of craving, because they buried the people there who had craved meat from Egypt. From there the Israelites traveled to Hazarah, where they stayed for some time. The complaints of Miriam and Aaron, beginning in Numbers 12, verse 1. While they were at Hazarah, Miriam and Aaron criticized Moses because he had married a Cushite woman. They said, has the Lord spoken only through Moses? Hasn't he spoken through us too? But the Lord heard them. Now Moses was more humble than any other person on earth. So immediately the Lord called to Moses, Aaron, and Miriam and said, go out to the tabernacle, all 3 of you. And the 3 of them went out. Then the Lord descended in the pillar of cloud and stood at the entrance of the tabernacle. Aaron and Miriam, he called, and they stepped forward. And the Lord said to them, now listen to me. Even with prophets, I, the Lord, communicate by visions and dreams. But that is not how I communicate with my servant Moses. He is entrusted with my entire house. I speak to him face to face, directly and not in riddles. He sees the Lord as he is. Should you not be afraid to criticize him? The Lord was furious with them, and he departed. As the cloud moved from above the tabernacle, Miriam suddenly became white as snow with leprosy. When Aaron saw what had happened, he cried out to Moses, oh my Lord, please don't punish us for this sin we have so foolishly committed. Don't let her be like a stillborn baby already decayed at birth. So Moses cried out to the Lord, heal her, O God, I beg of you. And the Lord said to Moses, if her father had spit in her face, wouldn't she have been defiled for 7 days? Banish her from the camp for 7 days, and after that she may return. So Miriam was excluded from the camp for 7 days, and the people waited until she was brought back before they traveled again. Then they left Hazarah and camped in the wilderness of Paran. 12 scouts explore Canaan, beginning in Numbers 13, verse 1. The Lord now said to Moses, "Send men to explore the land of Canaan, the land I am giving to Israel. Send one leader from each of the 12 ancestral tribes." So Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He sent out 12 men, all tribal leaders of Israel, from their camp in the wilderness of Paran. These were the tribes and the names of the leaders: Reuben, Shammua son of Zachar; Simeon, Shaphat son of Hori; Judah, Caleb son of Jephunneh; Issachar, Egal son of Joseph; Ephraim, Hoshea son of Nun; Benjamin, Palti son of Raphu; Zebulun, Gadiel son of Sadi; Manasseh son of Joseph; Gadi son of Susi; Dan, Amiel son of Gemali; Asher, Sethur son of Michael; Naphtali, Nabi son of Phosphי; Gad, Guel son of Maki. These are the names of the men Moses sent to explore the land. By this time Moses had changed Hoshea's name to Joshua. Moses gave the men these instructions as he sent them out to explore the land. Go northward through the Negev into the hills country. Seek what the land is like, and find out whether the people living there are strong or weak, few or many. What kind of land do they live in? Is it good or bad? Do their towns have walls, or are they unprotected? How is the soil? Is it fertile or poor? Are there many trees? Enter the land boldly and bring back samples of the crops you see. It happened to be the season for harvesting the first ripe grapes. So they went up and explored the land from the wilderness of Zin, as far as Rehob, near Lebo Hamath. Going northward, they passed first through the Negev and arrived at Hebron, where Ahiman, Shishah, and Talmai, all descendants of Anak, lived. The ancient town of Hebron was founded 7 years before the Egyptian city of Zoan. When they came to what is now known as the Valley of Eshcol, they cut down a cluster of grapes so large that it took 2 of them to carry it on a pole between them. They also took samples of the pomegranates and figs. At that time the Israelites renamed the valley Eshcol, cluster, because of the cluster of grapes they had cut there. The scouting report, beginning in Numbers 13, verse 25. After exploring the land for 40 days, the men returned to Moses, Aaron, and the people of Israel at Kadesh in the wilderness of Paran. They reported to the whole community what they had seen and showed them the fruit they had taken from the land. This was their report to Moses. We arrived in the land he sent us to see, and it is indeed a magnificent country, a land flowing with milk and honey. Here's some of the fruit as proof. But the people living there are powerful, and their cities and towns are fortified and very large. We also saw the descendants of Anak who are living there. The Amalekites live in the Negev, and the Hittites, Jebusites, and Amorites live in the hill country. The Canaanites live along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea and along the Jordan Valley. But Caleb tried to encourage the people as they stood before Moses. "Let's go at once and take the land," he said. "We can certainly conquer it." But the other men who had explored the land with him answered, "We can't go up against them. They are stronger than we are." So they spread discouraging reports about the land among the Israelites. "The land we explored will swallow up any who go to live there. All the people we saw were huge. We even saw giants there, the descendants of Anak. We felt like grasshoppers next to them, and that's what we looked like to them." The word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God. So our closing hymn this morning is another variation on the blessing, the priestly blessing we heard yesterday. But I don't have music for today, so y'all sing loud so you don't have to listen to me too much. All right. This is my daily prayer. God bless you, go with God.
hold fast his mighty hand throughout the day. His grace your heart sustain, His power relieve your pain, your prayer be not in vain, as you travel His way. In spite of all the lies that some may hurl, Christ is the only hope of all the world. God bless you, go with God through all eternity. My prayer will always be, may you go with God. May you go with God. Well, this is where this is a view out of my mom's back porch. I'm in Sweetwater this morning. Good morning, Rhonda. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Pam. Good morning, Janie. Thank you. Good morning, Pam. Good morning, Jim and Peggy. Good morning, Shirley. I would appreciate it if y'all keep my mom in her prayers. She's having some test run today, and as we travel. And I will see y'all back here tomorrow morning at 8.